Now at 6 days after a deadly shooting took the lives of two brothers outside of a West Haven bar, police have now ordered that bar to shut down. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Annette Montgomery. Police say the altercation that led to the homicide started at the bar, and they also believe that location has been involved in violent incidents in the past. Fox 61's Jamel Johnson is live in West Haven where that shooting took place. Jamel, city leaders had a strong message today.
Yeah, Annette, that strong message was that any business who's not in compliance with public safety standards that West Haven is trying to put in place, then officials will shut you down. That's the case with Museum Sports Bar and Grill right behind me, the location of that double homicide last Saturday. They are facing a cease and desist.
They had voluntarily closed in response to the investigation. Our cease and desist order will guarantee and assure that this bar does not reopen in the near future.
That's West Haven Mayor Dorinda Boer's response to the shooting here that left two brothers dead. Police Chief Joseph Perno says officers could have intervened sooner if the bar took extra safety steps.
It's the responsibility of the establishment to call if they see a problem. If they had called when there's something happened inside, and you can't tell me that they didn't know or they didn't see something that was brewing. And then when they saw everyone leave, the same people that were having the problem inside leave, somebody should have called. It's a responsibility.
Perno says this isn't the first issue at this bar. In 2024, someone was stabbed to death and gunshots rang out after the stabbing. Falcon Pizza owner Sardar Sahin says things haven't changed in this area since then.
There's a lot of police presence around here too, but still, two people got killed. We don't feel safe around here anymore, you know. Especially nighttime, I'm open till 3 a.m. Friday, Saturdays. And now we're thinking about maybe closing.
This shooting has officials accelerating crackdowns on businesses that pose a threat to public safety.
The chief and I have also assembled a business compliance task force, and they will be conducting multiple visits day and night to any problem businesses. Our goal is to ensure that every establishment follows the rules and the law. And if a business has been a problem for us, we are going to continue to be a problem for you.
Along with this new compliance program, the city will hire 4 more officers this summer, a task that has accelerated to address this violence.
A lot of this comes down to manpower, as we have an extensive beach, a downtown, and many areas to cover. We're one of the largest cities in the state, but our force does not reflect that.
Now, that cease and desist does not mean Museum Sports Bar and Grill will be shut down permanently. Mayor Dorinda Boer said they do have the opportunity to reopen. Just during the investigation, they do have to shut down. They have the opportunity to reopen if officials deem that they are back in line with those compliance safety standards. Now, as far as the shooting goes, no arrest has been made on that. In West Haven, Jamel Johnson at Fox 61.
Thank you, Jamel. Well, a Burlington man now charged with the murder of a woman he was previously dating appeared before a judge today. Cole Warren was arrested yesterday after the medical examiner's office ruled that Janina Brooke Murphy was killed from a blunt force injury to the head back in March. Fox 61's Celine Arif brings us the latest from the courtroom.
I'm here on Clare Hill Road where Cole Warren was arrested at his house on Tuesday. It's the same house where police found his girlfriend dead a few months ago. And while police called it a suspicious death at first, they're now calling it a homicide. This week, what stands between Warren and his freedom is a $5 million bond that his attorney Noah Corey says he might not be able to post.
I don't know yet. It remains to be seen.
In court, the prosecution shared that Warren was being supported by his family and is a substance user who takes medications for mental health problems he has. The prosecution called him an extreme danger to the community, and the judge shared he's already posted $830,000 in bonds for 3 other domestic violence cases. His attorney would not speak to us about those separate charges.
I have no comment on that.
Those other cases go back to 2025. 3 separate women told police they met Warren online and he got physical with them, even strangulating one of them. They say Warren not only hurt them, but also tried to prevent them from leaving his house. Those cases haven't been seen in court yet, but Warren was on house arrest when he was taken in for the newest murder charge this week. His attorney says while they wait for his next court date, they've got a decision to make.
The case was continued to next week so that we could make a decision about whether we're going to have a probable cause hearing.
Meanwhile, Janina Brooke Murphy's loved ones, like her best friend Emma Gravina, who we spoke to on the phone, say they're glad Warren's been arrested, but they're still waiting for justice.
I will never, ever stop fighting until this like man is away, and even still, like I want every girl that's experiencing something similar to get justice, because this is just horrendous.
Gravina, who knew Murphy since they were kids at the mall, shared these photos with us to honor her. She says Warhan hid his violent past from Murphy when they started dating and lied about who he really was. The arrest warrant says Warhan told police Murphy threw herself down the stairs, causing her death. Police documents show her friends and family say that was completely out of her character. Now Gravina hopes the truth comes out, not just for her best friend, but for the other women who say they are also victims of Warhan. Warhan is back in court on June 30th at the Litchfield Judicial District Courthouse in Burlington. Solene Arif, Fox 61.
Police in New Britain are investigating after they say a person was shot during an attempted robbery. It happened around 5:15 this morning on Alexander Road. Police say based on information they received on scene, they believe two men approached the victim as he was leaving for work, and during a brief struggle, that victim was shot in the arm. We are told they were taken to the hospital for treatment, and the suspects left the scene in a gray sedan. New Britain police say if you have any information that can help with the ongoing investigation, to please give them a call. Well, we have a heads up for you this afternoon. If you were planning to go to the beach, the swimming areas at Rocky Neck State Park are closed due to bacteria levels in the water. According to the Department of Energy and Environmental Protection, what's known as indicator bacteria was found, which are not disease-causing pathogens, but are one of the tools used to evaluate the potential for contamination of water bodies. The department said when a closure happens, a retest will be scheduled within the next day. If you want to keep track of all the status of our state parks, water, and swimming areas, you can visit our website at fox61.com. Well, after some wet weather this week, we are now seeing clearer skies today. So let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank. Rachel, beautiful day today.
It's been so beautiful. I agree. Not too hot, not too cold, kind of just right. Temperatures in the upper 70s to right around 80 degrees. We do frequently get that bacteria in the water after we get a soaking rain. So while I never hope for beaches to be shut down, it is a sign that we had so much rain and so much runoff into our bodies of water in the state. So kind of a little bit of good news there. 80 degrees right now in the Meriden area, upper 70s in Waterbury, and there's nothing on the radar, and we don't have to feel bad about enjoying a nice dry day because we already got that beneficial soaking rain. Lows tonight will be in the 50s inland, near 60 for the shoreline, so it's nice and refreshing as we head towards daybreak tomorrow. Great sleeping weather if you want to keep the windows open. Tomorrow, low humidity, highs near 80 degrees. We could see a shower towards sunset and a better chance for some rain tomorrow night. We'll talk about it coming up, Annette.
Thank you, Rachel. Well, President Donald Trump canceled plans to sign a landmark housing affordability bill today. And as Cole Higgins reports, the president says he won't put his signature on that bill until he gets action on his controversial elections overhaul legislation.
President Donald Trump visiting Capitol Hill Wednesday, but not signing a historic bipartisan housing bill as originally planned. Instead, opting to take the chance to pressure senators at a GOP lunch to pass his Save America Act.
It's a complete indifference to the cost squeeze on American families and to genuine efforts to do something about it.
The housing bill aims to tackle America's affordability crisis through encouraging more housing supply and encouraging local governments to reform zoning and permitting restrictions. The bill also includes a first-of-its-kind limit on private equity, prohibiting large investors from buying single-family homes. It passed both chambers of Congress with broad bipartisan support.
I can't think of anything that is a better way to celebrate the 250th anniversary of this country than making it easier for people to pursue the American dream of home ownership.
Less than 2 hours before the president's planned signing, he posted on social media, "Today's housing news conference and signing is hereby canceled until such time as we pass the desperately needed Save America Act, which I consider to be a national emergency." That bill would tighten ID requirements to vote in U.S. elections.
We have to press for election integrity measures. That's why we've made it a top priority.
While it has passed in the House, the elections bill has struggled to get support in the Senate. Cole Higgins, Fox 61.
Camp Mystic, the Central Texas summer camp where 28 people died due to catastrophic flooding last July, has now filed for bankruptcy. In its filing today, operators at Camp Mystic said the property may pose a threat to safety and needs to be physically protected from weather events. They also said debt tied to the camp exceeds $10 million. 25 of the flood victims were young girls who attended the camp. Back in April, Camp Mystic leaders decided not to reopen this summer. State investigators recently concluded the camp did not have adequate emergency plans and started evacuations too late during last summer's tragedy. The Trump administration's policy of arresting people at immigration courts nationwide has now been halted by a federal judge. The judge's 71-page ruling called the policy arbitrary. You may remember last year, immigration and customs enforcement agents started detaining migrants who were in courthouse hallways, and in some instances, moments before they were ready to plead their cases. That led lawyers and advocates to take action. They said the move was transforming immigration courts into areas where people who were trying to follow the law could be punished. And that decision came on the same day that a D.C. Circuit Court ruled that the White House can cast a wider net over who is subject to fast-track deportation. Expedited removal allows the administration to remove individuals from the U.S. without a hearing before an immigration judge. Previously, the deportations were limited to migrants who were taken within 100 miles of the land border and within 14 days of arrival. But with this recent move, the Trump administration can expand deportations to any undocumented immigrant who can't prove they've been in the U.S. continuously for 2 years. Well, today, the New Haven division of the FBI announced 3 new arrests as part of Operation Gold Rush. That's a federal investigation into fraudulent billing to Medicare that totaled more than $31.3 billion. Investigators say 2 people arrested in connection with that operation have ties to Estonia. In a statement today, Special Agent P.J. O'Brien with the New Haven division of the FBI said healthcare fraud schemes divert critical resources away from patients who rely on these programs and ultimately impact every taxpayer. Police in Plainfield arrested a woman who crashed into a house. Officials say 33-year-old Amber Blanchett was driving at high speeds down Harris Road last night when she lost control around a turn. They say this happened after she left the scene of a domestic disturbance. According to police, she left that crash site with her 4 kids still in the car. Police eventually found the car damaged at her home. And take a look at these insane images out of Windsor Locks. It happened after a car crashed into Skip's barbershop just after 8 last night. The driver says she lost control while she was traveling north on Route 159. We know thankfully nobody was hurt, but the people who live in the upstairs apartments did have to evacuate as a result. The driver was charged with failure to drive in the proper lane.